Welcome everyone to an epic showdown between Slaanesh, led by Dragonborn, going up against Kislev on the Cathay farmland. So we're going to be on the Turtle Fields with a rather interesting build. So you can see here in the backside, we are going to be having two Seekers of Slaanesh. They're going to try to get into the back here of the force and shut down this mass range. So we're going to be having Kossar Spears here, so good bonuses large in melee combat, and of course some good missiles to get forward, going over the top here of the quadruple armoured Kossars. Now these are no regular armoured Kossars, these bad boys are going to have great weapons, so good armour piercing in melee combat, but that's not really too useful here coming up against Slaanesh. Two units of the Winged Lancers on the right, a unit of the Light War Sleds. We're also going to be having the Big Elemental Bear, and this bad boy does bring magical damage to the battlefield, as well as that Frostbite ability, alongside the Chilling Aura, and of course that Unbreakable status. Now he does have Breath Attacks, which can be very useful if you get ahead of your army and try and use them early doors. Now, in the middle, we are going to be having the Lord Choice, the Ice Witch on a Polar Bear. She's going to be having the Iron Ice Armor, as well as the Arcane Conduit and the Frost Shield. The spell is going to be the Crystal Sanctuary, as well as Death Frost, backed up by the Ice Sheet and the Ice Maiden's Kiss. We're also going to be having the summon of the Guardian's Call, which can be rather handy in the later stage. One unit of the Snow Leopard, good anti-large armor-piercing sniper, with of course that slow and good physical resistance. Now, for Slaanesh, we already see some cavalry in the backside, but mass marauders and whips here in the front line. And of course, these bad boys all bring immune to psychology, so they can't be pushed off by fear and terror, which is rather handy in total. Two more units of the Seekers over there on the right. We are going to have the Lord Choice on foot, which is going to be the Herald of Slaanesh magic. Here with the Blissful Rapture, as well as the Arcane Conduit and the Soul Siphon, the spells of Phantasmagoria, as well here as the Acquiescence and the Lash of Slaanesh. We are going to have the Portal Glyph for the Double Chaos Fury summons, and also the Locus of Grace. In the middle, two units of the Cultists, and it's like one here going to be coming with a summon, both coming with summons, and it looks like the Pendant of Slaanesh. So this is not quite legal by the books of the rules, however, still, it's going to be a rather interesting fight. I think here, if we are going to be having a bit more of an optimal army, I don't really know if Great Weapons is going to be the way forward, but only time will tell. So we're going to be shooting in the front line here. We do actually have the Light War Sleds, which are bucket loads of armor piercing. When they start, 120 ammunition, really good AP, as well as chariots. They can really cycle through the front line. Wouldn't mind seeing these getting a little bit more busy, but they do have to be careful of the Seekers. Now, Seekers are going to be charging over on the right-hand side. If Seekers get into combat up against the Winged Lancers, it's not going to be good for them. Seekers have very good armor piercing, plus also the devastating flanker, which can be rather handy indeed. So they're going to charge forward, they're going to fight into combat, and we do see here really good AP charge here on the front. And we do have good charge bonuses for the Winged Lancers. 70 charge bonus is not too bad, but the Seekers, that armor piercing is so goddamn helpful. Really nice stuff from Dragonborn. He's going to get into the back here, really collapse on the Winged Lancers, and 3, 2, 1, they've been dealt with rather quickly. Snow Leopard's in as well, but I don't think he's going to last very long. We do see the front line is going to be clashing here up against the Great Weapon Armoured Kossars, and they will struggle here. The armour is going to be very nice indeed. They're going to be up to 95 so far. I think we're going to have some magic in the front. And we do have the Elemental Bear here fighting up against the Marauders of Slaanesh. So in the middle, sadly here, we are going to be losing all of the amazing cavalry, but we do actually have a summon as well with the Snow Leopard. Going to be fighting amongst the cavalry and then some of the anti-infantry marauders, but we're going to be clearing up here with the Seekers. It looks like we're going to get the Ice Sheet on the front. Going to be slowing a lot of the infantry, trying to get as many missiles going forward as possible. They're going to be firing into the front line, doing some pretty good damage. Only 15 armor here for all the cheap infantry, but they do have bronze shields. So you've got to be careful there. It looks like the Lord Choice is going to be in the back. The Locus of Grace has been activated. That is a 35-meter radius that can do some pretty good work there. So we do have the Ice Witch charging forward. She could maybe fight here up against the Hell Scourges. So I wouldn't mind seeing her in hand-to-hand combat there. But in the backside, we are going to be having a summon here. The Portal Glyph going down to get some of the Furies here from the realms of Slaanesh, so we can get them into the back going up against Kislev. Then we do see whips and swords and shields here fighting in the front line. They're going to be breaking under the sheer pressure and weight here of the Elemental Bear. They're going to be taking quite a lot of sustained damage, which is not going to be very good there for them in the long term. In the middle, we are going to be getting a slow here, quite nice there, a 35-meter radius of 25% on the slow. Try to see if we can, reduce that speed, get more arrows going forward and taking down this lightly armored force. We do break down with the Snow Leopard. We see that the armored Kossar Great Weapons really struggling with the mass infantry and the double heroes. In the backside on foot, the Herald, she's going to be charging forward. Good armor piercing for her in melee combat. And we do see the Ice Witch now is going to be fighting up against those whips of Slaanesh. 42 melee defense is not going to be too good here for the Armored Hussars to fight up against, as they've only got 20 melee attack. In the middle, we are going to be having the Light Warsleys fighting over on the left-hand side, but armor piercing here with, I think it's roughly about 90 speed, is going to be really good for the Seekers. The Light Warsleds normally come in at about 75, so they're really not going to be able to go anywhere. They pretty much pay for, a relative amount of armor, so they're going to get taken down pretty quickly here by the Seekers. In the middle, we're going to have the Elemental Bear just trundling on through, trying to do the best work he can, but the majority of the line is going to be roughly holding here for Kislev. Definitely want to drop a few of these Kossar Spears back into the middle, get these shooting yet again. We can see the Seekers are going to be suffering. Frostbite has been activated down to 15 speed. When you consider also the extra slows here from the Winds of Magic, these bad boys really have been slowed to a halt. We see on the left-hand side, Seeker's going to be fighting up against the Light Warsleds. Light Warsleds down to one model, only 714 health there for him. Not looking too good there for the Bear Boys. In the middle, we are going to have the Great Weapons fighting and beating back the Marauders. Don't know what we have here in the middle. We did hear some spells going down. I think there was maybe a Phantasmagoria there in the pocket. But By Our Blood is now going to be activated. That unbreakable 30 seconds is really handy here for these cheap Kossar Spears. And we do see Kossar Great Weapons is going to be fighting still in the middle. It looks like it is going to be a Locus of Grace, as the Lord Choice is going to be getting peppered and bullied in the middle here by the Herald and both of her cultists. Now we do see some summons here in the backside, so that is more than likely here going to be some of the armor-piercing infantry. Yes, we are going to be having the Demonettes coming forward, and they will butcher the Great Weapons. Now we do have to win in melee combat to charge that, so we can get some more infantry into the front line. And we are going to get Demonettes clearing up the pocket. The Great Weapons are really going to be struggling now. There's only going to be one unit in the backside. Need to get these forward, but kind of also want to avoid these summons. Just going to be rather difficult to do here as Kislev. Not many units left here on the battlefield. It looks like it's just going to be the Elemental Bear versus the World. By Our Blood is going to be activated by all units here on the battlefield, apart from the big boy here. We do have a few units on the periphery though that could get involved. Looks like it is going to be another summon here coming for Slaanesh. The second and final Portuglyph giving out some of these Furies. And if you've got them, you might as well use them. And use them here to chase off some units. Get those Kossar Spears out of here, making sure they don't return here to the battlefield. Now, over on the left-hand side, we are going to see some Great Weapons. Pistols, there's still lots of ammunition in the backside. 6 lots of ammunition that really could be spread amongst the infantry, doing some pretty good damage. Now, there's not many models, only 27 here out of 90, but still, they can get some good damage here going throughout the build, just to make sure we get those in and starting to fire. But it looks like here it's just going to be the Elemental Bear fighting up against Slaanesh, and it's really nice to see Slaanesh bringing a nice build. Of course, it's not tournament legal, but nonetheless, it's really good to see them taking down a good Kislev build. Apologies there for the hiccups. But we do see that the Kislev Bear is going to be fighting to the best of his ability. But it looks like he's going to be fully surrounded. He's going to get taken down by the mass armor piercing of the cultists, and the Lord Choice just going to be hopping around. Lots of damage there. I think maybe that was an overcast, not too sure. But that is going to be a great victory here for Dragonborn and Slaanesh. So for the Kislev player, something I would recommend. I don't think that Light Warsleds are particularly good in this matchup, and neither are the Elemental Bears. So 142 kills, only 670 damage value, and yeah, I wouldn't really say that's going to be doing too good there. What I'd definitely be doing is going maybe 5 units of Kossar Spears, 5 units of just the regular Kossars, and then having a bit more of a death block. Bring in someone like Boris that's a really good sniper, especially up against heroes and lords. And then, you can bring the Elemental, sorry, not the Elemental Bear, but you can bring the Oath Brothers of Tor for all their debuffs. You can bring Patriarchs for healing and all these kind of things. And you have 2 very solid lines, high melee defense for the regular armored Corsairs, makes them really good at defending the 5 units of spears in the backside. Don't mind the Snow Leopard, I think it's a really nice pick, but I think the Winged Lancers, they pay a lot for armor. And of course, when you bring Seekers, they deal with that rather quickly. Very nice flank charge there coming in from Dragonborn. 2 in the front, hammer and anvil tactic with 2 coming in from behind there. The Snow Leopard really tried to get in and cause some damage, but sadly to no avail. We see there 670, 360 and 170 for the mobile components. 400, 270, 440 and 240 there for the Armored Corsair Great Weapons. 450 for the Snow Leopard, with 400, 440, 430 and 470 for the Corsairs. So I'm sorry if I sound a little bit tired as well, just to let you know, I did play in a 5-hour tournament yesterday, and I did play to quite an early hour in the morning, so I'm feeling rather tired. I'm a bit drained today, so hopefully the casting is still just as good. But 2,080 here for the Herald of Slaanesh, 1,100, 570 there for the Cultist, 980 for the Seekers, 440, 1,930. So good stuff overall there for the Seekers. Great performance. We saw 130, 117, 566 with 630 there for the Hell Scourgers, with 375, 200, 230, 170 and 460 for the Marauders. So if you guys want to catch me watching myself do in the tournament as I did yesterday, do feel free to go check out that Twitch. It should be a little link afterwards. Other than that, please feel free to like, comment and subscribe here on the video. I'd love to know all your thoughts and opinions. And other than that, take care of yourselves, and I'll be seeing you all very soon.